Okay.
Ain't got no plates to be fighting these people.
Fucked up what they be saying to you, huh?
Oh. Got this.
It all falls down. Oh.
My only option is Tyler. Would you like to go on a date with me? Are you asking for real? Yeah. Don't do that. What you mean? Why not? Don't do that. I'm serious. Whenever you get some free time, would you like to go on a date with me? On a whole live thing. Why not? It's true or dare. Next one.
Recording my stream. You should also record when I'm fucking your goddamn mom too. I'll be
Whoa.
ghetto ass cheeks or the big pale ass cheeks over the fucking bed and just crashing the three condoms. I don't even feel anything.
you're not there.
Ritual plots. For the actual materials, we move which spawn in this tree, East Dancing Lion. This is our first remembrance boss of the DLC, so it's time to find out if it sleeps. And no, it does not sleep. So the first remembrance boss of the DLC, in fact, does not get even a little sleepy, which is pretty disappointing. We will have to take the beast out the old-fashioned way and just use our stubby little sword. As you can see, the Velvet Sword of St. Trita doesn't do a lot of damage, even with my Shadow Tree Fragment being plus 14 and the sword being plus 10, it is only cracking around 500 damage a hit, which is very weak in comparison to most other weapons at this point. It means we will be struggling a lot more than I would like to, but besides the damage struggle, there isn't much to say about this fight. It's a very standard beast fight, with us going for jump hits as much as possible to try to break the poise of the lion. We end up taking him out after just a couple attempts. I did it! We decided to jump immediately into another remembrance boss, Milana. Let's find out if she can sleep. We instantly can see that she is a sleeper. Although this is not eternal sleep, as I would have liked, it is sleep, and it will be crucial for winning this fight. We will always try to have Mists of Eternal Sleep active, as it adds even more sleep buildup on our sword, which is super handy in a fight like this, because we can chain our sleep procs into poise breaks, into more sleep procs, making it so Rolana doesn't have much time to get up. We get her into phase 2 rather quickly, and when we do this really messes her up. Just watch this chain reaction.
What are you talking about? There's 3 dudes in that building. Those fuckers supposed to give away my position. I red tagged it. I put the I sign. I did everything possible.
Hello?
Well, just because they jumped over to you.
Hold on a minute. What was that?
Can you play the game?
Oh, well, first off,
Just like when the team
should probably put you on Discord, honestly.
fucking
But yeah.
Which cancels her phase shift, allowing us to do a lot of damage because
Just
she
keep
has
chopping away. Got your ass
to
whooped.
the 3 rune attack, and I messed this up. After all this time, you'd think I'd be able to get it down, but we all have bad days, alright?
Turn my what?
People up or what?
Set my mic off?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her. Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you. Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey. while I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless... then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can... You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here, either. Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job. The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. I can assure you that you didn't slay her, and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us. The only thing that matters is marching up to that cabin and winning. That's the spirit. There's no point in squabbling when the real threat is just up that hill. Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
We did our best with the information we were given. And we did kill her.
And yet you still died, didn't you? So congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We killed the princess killed us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left?
Ugh. Enough with the talking. We've got a fight to win. Nothing else matters.
I couldn't agree more. The cabin and your destined confrontation with the princess awaits. Just be quick about it. She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
Oh, this is maddening. Why do you keep asking questions?
There's nothing wrong with getting the full picture of what's going on here.
Sure there is. It's wasting time and energy that would be better spent fighting. What else would we even need to know? We've got all the reason we need for a rematch.
Exactly. The less you know about her, the better. Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight.
Are you sure about that?
The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice. The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear? Crystal. Let's just get on with it already. The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. See? Even the cabin has the right idea. Let's get moving. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Very different. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. The world is depending on you. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago. And now it's gone, so all of us can stop arguing about it and get to fighting. No blade this time. Right then, fisticuffs it is. Probably more fair to her anyway. Wouldn't want to feel like we cheated our way to a win. As long as you can still get the job done. And don't forget that the blade is waiting for you upstairs if you happen to change your mind. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulphuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening. Good. Sounds like my kind of princess. As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, a large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall. Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I'd been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us. But no little knife this time, huh? Ugh, I hope you're not just here to chat. I've been itching for a rematch.
Okay, fine. Let's say for a moment I believe you. For all we know, whatever happened to you last time was just a fluke, and beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me. I don't remember what happened last time.
Are you okay?
Of course I'm not okay. As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die.
What is there to unpack? I was dead and now I'm not, and the same goes for you. There. Unpacking done. Don't you get it? We've been given free rein to wail on each other. Forever.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Aside from your empty hands, you look exactly the same. Oh, I remember you all right. Best 3 minutes of my life. So, why don't we do it again? Or are you scared I'm going to put you down for good this time?
Are you just going to let her talk to us like that? We're not scared. I think my position on violence in this situation is already more than clear, but you really shouldn't let yourself be goaded so easily. There's more at risk in this encounter than your fragile ego. I agree. If we're going to fight her, we need a weapon.
Why? You didn't want to talk last time. Are you scared I'm going to kill you again?
Free her? You aren't... I don't know why I'm even bothering, to be honest. You know the stakes of the situation.
Who says I want to be free? I want the two of us to fight to the death. I want to feel your knife split my flesh, and I want to hear your bones snap beneath my fists. Is that really too much to ask?
Yeah, especially that last part. Don't be such a coward. I'm just being cautious. If it comes to violence, we can find a way to deal with her that doesn't involve throwing our life away. I'd rather not die again, and I find it deeply disturbing that you seem to relish the thought of it. Because it doesn't matter if we die again. It'll just be another opportunity to have the fight of our life. We don't know that for sure, and I'd rather not bet on it.
Oh, you've got another thing coming if you think you can just turn around and leave.
As you step towards the stairs, you hear the heavy creak of straining metal, and then a snap. She's loose. You have to make a decision, and you have to make it fast. How about we get the hell out of... Can I finish my thought now? Sure, why not? Here. So, it doesn't matter because everything goes dark and you die. Great job.
No, come on, we can't be dead. We didn't even get a chance to fight her.
Dead is dead, but maybe you'll have better luck next time. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path...
Alright, change of plans. We're taking the blade this time, and we're not hiding upstairs.
Who cares about the blade? If we had a chance against her, we already missed it, didn't we? She got stronger, and we stayed the same.
We've seen her bleed. Whatever she is, she started out mortal, which means she probably is still mortal, which means we can win. We just didn't take things seriously enough last time.
If that's what you want, then fine. Enjoy being beaten to death again and again and again.
Well, this is just great. Let me cut to the chase. Clearly, you've already been here.
Yeah, you think?
Actually, I don't think we have been here. This is all different, isn't it?
That's a good point. Everything here is a little... off.
Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs. So you'd better take things seriously.
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
Good, we're all on the same page. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. End her. That's it? No final words of advice? I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard.
That's fine by me. Let's get moving. I'm itching for a rematch.
The interior of the cabin is a place that feels long forgotten. There was once an elegance to its construction, carved marble columns holding a high arched roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight. But that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing nerves and wet clumps of living meat. That's horrible.
It doesn't matter.
The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. A mirror? There is no mirror. There's the pedestal, the blade sitting on the pedestal, and the door to the basement. Just tell us where the door is. I'd like to get back to fighting, and if you want us to kill her so bad, I'm sure you feel the same. No more messing around. I don't know what to tell you. There isn't a mirror because I would know if there was a mirror. You're either seeing things, or you're confused on the definitions of door and mirror. Or you're seeing things. That seems far more likely. What are you trying to say, exactly?
He thinks we've lost it. That we're succumbing to madness, that something in us has broken.
That's an unnecessarily melodramatic way to describe a hallucination, but sure. I'm not going to waste time arguing with any of you. It went away after we touched it last time. Let's just do it again. You take the blade from the pedestal. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. Nothing feels better than gripping cold steel. You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. As if you don't see it. You really don't, do you? How strange.
It really is just like last time. Are we really hallucinating? Why here? Why now?
Let's just smash it and get it over with. I'm ready to get violent.
We won't be able to see what's in there if we smash it.
Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time. You reach forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead.
Why am I not surprised?
You step forward into the darkness. The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high-vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides. You feel both unprotected and trapped, at once exposed and claustrophobic. The air is thick, its odor an oppressive violence, the metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating embers of charred remains. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
So you've returned after denying me the salvation of combat? Are you here to gloat? Are you here to mock what I've become? Do you think that if you let me kill you enough times, I'll suddenly soften and repent for sins that live solely in your head? Well, we've tried that, haven't we? Now come down and see what your refusal has done to me. See how much you can bear to witness the consequences of your actions.
It cuts both ways. We've both hurt each other.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. The chamber's walls are painted in blood, a deep, sickening red that drips down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone. The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
She's been hollowed out, just like us.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. And then, with a nauseating sound, the skin tears. It plops to the ground, and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings. She is loose, and she is coming for you.
She's only trying to connect with us. Wouldn't you want to dig for a spark once you lost it? To try to reignite something, even if it hurts?
You'll try. And that's what I've been so excited for. Let's hurt each other.
Your heart free of fear, you charge towards the princess, your eyes locked on each other, both of you prepared to lay down your very essence in one blow. It's now or never. Let's make it a beautiful blaze of glory. With a horrifying squelch, you are unwound. No, that's our stuff. She can't just do that. She just did. Unfortunate, I know, but reality is reality.
This is the only way it could have gone, really.
Oh, you are just insufferable, aren't you? Come on, we're better than this. So, are we dead? No.
Don't think that I'll allow you death here. I've made that mistake before. No, you will suffer until you see in me what I have seen in you.
But the words don't leave your metaphorical mouth. Instead, all that leaves you is a wet and horrible gurgling as tissue vibrates out of place.
Our metaphorical mouth.
Oh, I didn't leave you a mouth, did I? It's better that way. Words get us nowhere. They aren't music. They aren't dance. They aren't feeling.
Your eye, held far outside your skull by a thin stalk of nerves and viscera, stares back at her in unblinking silence.
Let's see what meaning we can find together. Let's see what we're made of.
Something infiltrates you. Though you do not see it, you feel it, slithering into your disaster of a body, seeping into the gaps between your molecules. The body of a sapient creature has, on average, 30 trillion cells. And each one of those cells is composed of 100 trillion some odd atoms. One of those cells is peeled from the others. 100 trillion atoms are gone.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
Yes? I think.
Then 2 are peeled away. Then 4. This is nothing. 8. 16, 32, 64.
Whatever she does to us, we shouldn't hate her. She's been hurt so badly.
128, 256, 512.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
1024. 2048, 4096, 8192.
I feel small, smaller than before.
16,384, 32,768, 65,536. You can't just count us into oblivion. 131,000,
72. 262,144. 524,288. What happens when it gets higher? Like, really higher?
Nothing. Just like nothing's happening now.
But something is happening now. Something in us is liquefying. Something that started small but that keeps getting bigger.
1,048,000. The hundreds don't matter anymore.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
2,096,000. 4,192,000. 8,384,000.
I don't like this waiting for something to happen. But it's taking so long.
16,768,000. 33,536,000. 67,072,000. Your eyes are useless. 134 million. The thousands don't matter anymore. Your blood begins to go places it shouldn't.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
There's the pain. I can feel it now. But we can handle this. We can't let her win.
Fighting the pain is just the same as wallowing in it. This doesn't have to be something where you win or lose. We just have to accept it.
$268 million. We don't need to count anymore. Your lungs fill with liquid. You smell things you shouldn't. You choke on pieces of what used to be you.
Doesn't matter, because we're still alive.
You are deconstructed. You are reconstructed. A square you, a round you, a you with too many legs, a you with many mouths which won't stop screaming. Then all of it.
What does you even mean anymore? We just keep changing into horrible things we can't control. Make it stop, please. Make it stop.
You means we exist. There has to still be a way for us to win. Otherwise this would be pointless, and all this torture would be for nothing.
You're right about one thing. It is torture. But it isn't pointless. The whole point is that it's torture.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
Yes.
The ball is unraveled into the shape of a body. The skin peels off in a corkscrew. The eyes are plucked. The organs arranged in the air in a neat row.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
It's okay to let go. Then I'm letting go.
Yes.
You are stretched into a line 12 feet long, then 24, then 48. The line gets thinner as you get longer. A mile. 2, 4, 8.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
Yes.
16, 32, 64.
No.
128.
I'm still here.
You are stretched and stretched and stretched until you are longer than the world itself. You wrap around it again and again and again. A tense line of microcosmic tissue held together by forces that are far too weak for the task they've been given.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
I'm going to stick around. As long as you need me to.
And then the forces disappear. The bonds holding your cells together break. You are 30 trillion little pieces, all of them separate, and all of them falling.
Are you still there? Are you still you?
You sit in these 30 trillion places, each second passing in each of them before you arrive at the next. Each second passing as 1 million years. And so,
You wait.
That's all I have.
And then, all at once, there is a great rewinding, and all of the disparate pieces that once were you fall dutifully back into place. You are whole again, and in your body, the body you had before all of this happened, and the princess sits against the wall, her dress of skin more tattered than before, her face sullen and disappointed.
You left me, and there's nothing I can do to bring you back.
She's just like us. A piece of her is missing.
So you are, and yet I still feel so alone. There is no world outside of us. And there is no us. How? Violence and pain are all I've known. After everything I've done to you, you'd really take me with you?
Are you serious? You're just offering her your hand? You cross the room towards the princess, extending your hand to her. Her eyes, deep wells of buried sorrow, meet yours for a moment. You despicable fiend. And then she takes your hand in hers. You're going to end the world, don't you get it? I can't let that happen. I can't let you leave. I have to...
You can't stop us. We've been...
Fine. You and the princess climb the stairs out of the basement together. In silence.
It's okay. We're almost there.
I'm tired.
I know.
And then you cross the upstairs of the cabin to the door, which you open. And then you step outside and into the ruins of the world you left
behind. He's gone too. It's just the three of us now.
Is this the world? It's so cold.
So the world's gone, and she's gone with it. There's only one thing left for you to do here. You need to look at yourself. Whatever you see, it's going to be okay.
I think you know what I am. The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far. Construct. It was supposed to keep the two of you trapped here until the job was done, and it was supposed to guide your hand to help you see things through. The construct you're in exists in every world at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both you and her into a new world. But you're waking up to your true nature now. It won't be able to work like that anymore. Any other version of me you talked to was just that, a version of me. It wasn't me. As to why they lied, perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible. Maybe they were just in denial. I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant. For all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. Who's to say which of them are right and which of them are wrong, really? Except for me, I can tell you for a fact that I'm right. Of course not. The only way this construct could function was if nobody knew what it was doing. But the bones of the universe are old. It's on the cusp of its dying breath, and the people out there are consumed with thoughts of oblivion. when the patterns are wiped from the sand, when the board is reset, who will remember them? All I've done is give them a chance to live outside of the shadow of the end. You're the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death. She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. This isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone. You were made to do this single task, and you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone. If that's your belief, there's nothing I can say to move you. You haven't died. You cannot die. So you can't grasp the abject horror of dying. With some amount of difficulty, but you're an abstract concept yourself. It would have been preferable if you had destroyed her within the confines of the construct, but when I shaped the two of you, I made sure that you were strong enough to see things through. Yes, you will, but it will all be worth it. It wouldn't work. Her nature as the shifting mound makes it so nothing can last forever as it is now. It wouldn't matter how long the two of you waited. Eventually she would find a way to leave. And then everything would change. Everything would face oblivion. And until then, the clock ticks on. There's no reasoning with a god, even one you've woven into existence yourself. I've said my piece, and my time is up. I'm just an echo, and every echo fades away.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly. Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind. Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am. Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echoes spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation? If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But we cannot use words alone to grasp at things that words cannot express. And you cannot rationalize with logic that which defies it. Violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it. Is a person? Is it their body? Is it all of their body? Pluck the eyes, peel the skin, strip the tendons, mince the meat, grind the bones. When it is all gone, do you still have who you started with? A person is not a body. Death is a transformation into something new. It is only bodies that feel it.
Oh, is it not? Perhaps you can enlighten me. What once was one, then was two, and then was one again. You gave me shelter when you burned mine down, and then you struck another match. I pulled you from the ruins, and then we built a life. What once was one, then was one again. The peace didn't last. The worm in your heart came for us. I took you from me, and I took you back. What once was one, then was two, then was one again. You and I are bound together. To rid yourself of me would be to leave yourself forever incomplete. You cling to your notion of pain as suffering. There is beauty in ugliness, and love in conflict.
A boundless torrent of blades cut you from boundless angles. You are a body. You are gory ribbons. You are a body again. And you feel all of it. On it goes until your bodies are not your thoughts are not you. Alive, dead, alive, dead, alive, dead, then alive and dead, and alive and dead, all at once.
You learned to put yourself away, and in your stillness you rose above me. You died countless steely deaths, and you lived countless short lives, and yet it is all so far behind you. I pushed you to a greatness you never would have reached without me. We are the whole of reality. My masses mob you. There is no beginning to them, and there is no end.
And there is no
There is
end.
only the flood of
There
bodies.
is only the
In
flood
every
of
moment
bodies.
you hold every possible
In
sensation
every
at
moment
once,
you
and
hold
then you
every
hold them all
possible
again.
sensation at once,
And
and then you hold them all again. But in the end, you reflected it back at me. For a brief moment, both of us were everything. We can be everything again. We can weave a beautiful and endless song. each other's mirrors. And are we not divine? You are weightless and alone, suspended in the gravity of an idea too great for you to hold. A tiny island caught between the death of the old and the birth of the new. But you did not go quietly. You spat in the eye of that which would claim godhood, and through that defiance, you bound us both together. Without me, there are no externalities to resist. And without you to resist me, there can be no externalities. It is struggle that carves meaning into consciousness. What you mistake for lecture is merely observation. I only want to help you. You can vainly struggle against me, or you can follow the rhythm of our movement and find our freedom.
You are unmovable. Is it by the design of our conflict that I cannot win? Or are you just that fervent in how you cling to delusion? Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together. What I offer you is not perspective. It is truth.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone. They're still where you left them, stuck in the folds of this place. Part of me is with them, just like part of me is with you right now. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready? Then let's go. And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe things?
It's just us. I think the rest of them are still out there, jumbled up in the rest of her.
Yeah, of course. The interior of the cabin is, well, it's a cabin, yeah? There isn't much here, just a table and a knife and a door. And some windows. There's no mirror, either. I think you broke it. And I know you're still trying to find some middle ground, but if things go south, we're going to need that blade. That's probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more options than not. Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated. Yeah, it's complicated. He put us through hell, but he's been part of us since the very beginning, hasn't he? The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
Have you figured out what you want to do yet, or are you going to keep trying to find a center that doesn't exist?
It sounded just like that. A little sharp, a little menacing. Only she didn't know us. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you are, knife in hand. It really brings me back. Have you given up on talking? Have you finally decided to kill me? You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go? Well, I don't want to be at the end of that knife, so how about we figure something out? What if we tried doing this forever? I can do whatever you think I can, right? So, make me put it all back. Make me fix the Echo's construct and make me wipe our memories of everything that's happened. Make me send us back to the beginning, before we woke up. Before either of us saw the truth.
Can she really do that? Are you sure that's what you want?
And if we do, nothing is stopping us from making the same choice. We could just keep doing this forever. That's sweet. But unless you do, the whole world ends, right? Not like I care, but it seems important to you. I don't think that's something we'll ever get to know, but odds are we've probably done it before. Neither do I, but we won't be alone for long. I'll be right here, waiting for you. You brought that knife down here for a reason. Either you use it to kill me, or I use it to put things back. Yeah, I think it's too late for that. But maybe next time. Who cares? We've hurt each other plenty, and I still like you. And if you're hesitating, then you must still like me, too. Well, if we change our minds, we change our minds. What matters is that we'll always have a choice. This is just the one we're making now. Fixing that is on you, not me. If you want me to help them, you'll have to make me help them. You and me both. Whatever world you want to build without me, I hope it works out. Despite our differences, I've always loved you, and I wish you nothing but the best.
She's gone. And I don't think she's coming back. Is that a metaphor, or are you being literal? It doesn't matter, we don't need to linger down here anymore. Let's get going. It's quiet here. He's gone, she's gone. No one is left to trap us here but us. It's finally over, isn't it? But all of us are still here.
I knew we'd finally see it through. All it takes to be a winner is grit and determination.
We really did win, didn't we? We're the house now. We get to make the rules. This is nice. No more hunting. No more running.
Absolute reality. Who would have thought there was really a world outside of us? And who would have thought we'd actually wind up siding with him?
The whispering, and the coercion, and the bickering. Everything horrible about being alive has stopped. I could get used to this. That wasn't very hard at all. Speak for yourself. Well, boys, how does it feel? We're not just on top of the pecking order, we are the pecking order now.
I hope this was all worth it, because I'm personally inconsolable. Lucky for us, you have forever to get over it. Time mends a lot of things. You'll get better. Hear, hear, to our vanquished foe. It's good to be back. Now we just have to figure out what to do with ourselves. Forever. No problem. We can do that, yeah? Yeah, we can do that.